believe we're back on board with the circuit here. Clara, here's the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers and through the smoke we come.
What a crash!
Well, hello fellow motorsport people and welcome to this week's Retro Motorsport. This week we go back in time. It's 2002. The place is Manfield, but not on the racetrack. It's World Series jet sprinting Group A from the infield at the mighty Manfield in the Manawatu.
The Manawatu region of New Zealand's North Island, an area of rugged mountains and plains, is famed for its agricultural and outdoor lifestyle. The capital is Palmerston North, a city of 100,000 people and venue for round number 4 of World Series jet sprinting. Held at the satellite town of Fielding, this 4th round would use the high-speed aqua track of Manfield. The jet sprint track at Manfield is one of the fastest in the sport. The narrow channels will cause many problems for the competitors, but the real challenge will be the navigation. The race teams will loop 3 times around the islands in the center of the course. Each time they will use a different entry and exit, and remembering the sequence will be the key.
Where are the traps out there?
Oh, definitely the top end of the back straight. That's the money corner. The first time round it's not so bad. The second time round it's quite wakey, and the third time round, mate, there's wakes going in all directions. I think you've already seen several boats come off there today, and yeah, 100%, mate. That's the money corner when you're coming up for your last run, heading for the straight, heading for home. You're all pumped up. You think, you know, if you've got a good one under your belt, you know, you're pushing that extra bit hard, and that's where it all comes together or comes to grief at times.
With points leader Dean Lautenschlager now making the trip down under, 3 Kiwis dominate the top of the ladder. Second place man Andrew Dalzell has been Mr. Consistent this season, but for sheer speed, it'll be hard to beat Chris Munro. The first 3 rounds of World Series saw the rival at the top. Dean the Machine Lautenschlager, a brand new boat and co-driver, gave him an almost perfect score of 88 out of a possible 90 points. The Kiwi, Andrew Dalzell, was the real find of the first 3 rounds. His speed consistency netted him second place in the points.
You had a pretty good World Series in the States. Did you surprise yourself how well you went?
Yes, I did surprise myself, but I knew that if I travelled that distance, all I had to be was consistent, and that's what I was, and the other guys did it for me.
Nobody had any doubt that Chris Munro was the fastest thing in Group A this season, but a mistake in the first round cost him in the points.
Chris, part 2, 6-round championship. You're looking pretty good.
Well, let's hope. We've done a lot of work over the off-season and we've just been gearing up for this one, so see how it goes.
Do you think you got an advantage now you're back down in your neck of the world?
Yeah, it's definitely easier racing at home. These guys are struggling a wee bit, getting the setups right and that, and now we've got all the resources here to change anything we need to. So.
The only man to match Munro for speed was Australian Peter Shearer, but bad luck and mechanical problems saw him well down in the points.
Peter, the American leg of World Series wasn't good for you.
No, it wasn't. I had a lot of engine trouble. When we got home, we found that the cylinder heads were cracked. So they went in the bin pretty quick, and I've borrowed a set to come over here and compete here.
You can't win it in the points, but you can definitely rain on a few people's parade, can't you?
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I had good luck last time I raced here, so hopefully that'll come true today as well.
Another driver to have a run of bad luck in the first 3 rounds was Brian Smith. There's no doubt he's got the speed. All he needs now is a little bit of reliability.
Still here to race, as you know, and as I've already said, yeah, we had a rotten run of luck over there, and I'm wanting to prove that the boat is on the pace, and as I say, unfinished business, mate. You know what could have been in the States, but hey, that's racing, that's engines, and yes, I've still got something to prove.
The morning started off with a likable Kiwi. Manfield suited his boat, and he knows the track very, very well. Everything was finally looking good. Would his luck hold out this time?
Fine. What happened?
It's dropped the valve or something. She's history, mate. It's World Series, mate. Unbelievable. Come on. Shit happens. That's motor racing, mate. We've had a great run this year in the domestic season. We've won the North Island, the South Island. We're leading the New Zealand champs. Well, we had second fastest time today. I was just putting the hammer down, and she's dead, mate. She's died, so it's motor racing, mate.
The reigning World Series Group A champion Jason Maxwell also had a bad run in the first 3 rounds of World Series. He believed that his boat was at fault, so for the last 3 rounds, he built himself a brand new boat, hoping that it fixed the problem.
Jason, not a good way to start.
No, it's not. It's a new boat to me. Still experimenting with it. It's just not wanting the corner. It's lifting really bad in the corners. I'm really puzzled on what to do with it, but hopefully we'll get it figured out before the next race.
You didn't have a good run in the States, and now it's not good down here.
No, just having some bad luck.
Jason wasn't alone in being bitten by the traps of Manfield.
What happened?
You've probably got a better view of that than I have, actually.
You got no idea?
Nah, just didn't seem to be any quicker into that corner than normal, and we obviously drifted wide, clipped the island on my side, and yeah, just over she went.
Over she went, along for the ride, eh?
Yep.
Much damage?
Looking like it's folded in one side, yeah.
Out for the day?
Hard to say yet. It's not on the trailer yet. We'll go back and have another look.
All morning long, the wakes and the washes in the narrow channels cause problems for the unwary. So at the end of the morning's qualifying, Simon Campbell topped the charge with a 52.24. Chris Monroe was only 4/10 behind. Only the top 8 boats go through the next round, and surprisingly, Andrew Dalzell was nowhere to be found. He just didn't have the speed.
Qualifying's over, it's time to start the dance.
Yeah, I qualified quite well, so hopefully we can keep it going at that pace. I didn't seem to have any problems, so things at the moment look good.
Thought I heard the boat missing out there.
I hit just over 8,000 RPM, so the rev limiter probably popped a few times, so yeah.
Do you think that you can get close enough to Chris today, because he's been the man?
I don't know. At the moment, I'm just taking it as it comes, and I'll just smooth my driving out and see how we go. We pulled the spark plugs out and found a wet one, so pulled the rocker cover off and found a broken rocker. So that's me out for the day. Just one of those things, you run them to the optimum performance day in, day out, and it just finally decided that it didn't want to play the game today.
Not your World Series?
No, it's not, but that's racing. You know, I've come to expect it all the time, and I was happy with the way I was going today, and so I've sort of proved to myself that I'm up there.
Not only proved to himself, but proved to everybody else, one of the young guns of the sports. Keep your eyes on Peter Shearer. So because of that, we have a top 7. First to the track, and the elimination is going to be Peter Schuler and his brother Rudy. Love the paint job. Kind of a variation of the flame job, big old paint splatter on the front. They get into the field of 8 with a 53.94 pass from the top 16 for Group A, Manfield Aqua Track and Fielding, New Zealand on the North Island, coming up on split time, and it will be for Schuler, 27.30.
A little bit of history in the making here with the first Canadian in a boat, Wendy Brooks, sitting alongside the Whakatane orchardist. So Peter Schuler twisting, turning his way through the tight Manfield infield, doing it nicely. Well, Peter Schuler double team with her brother Rudy Schuler. Rudy Schuler just missing out on the 8. Now we got to run for home. We look at the clock, it's a 53-54.
Next up for the field of 8 of eliminations for Group A at Manfield Aqua Track here in Fielding, New Zealand. Going to be Daryl Hutton. This man had done the shared driving duties with Rex Bryant for a few years, but decided that maybe this is the year to go full-time driving as he shares the boat with Jan DeWard. By the way, this boat rolled over in practice and didn't know if we were going to see it, and here they are.
Racing courtesy of Silicon in the back right-hand corner. Big transition for this man from a bulldozer to a sprint boat. Doing it very, very nicely. So Daryl Hutton from Patararoo in the North Island, working his way down through the speed bowl.
With an identical split time for the pass earlier from Schuler. We're only going to take the 4 quickest into the final 4. Keep your eye on the clock and let's see what's going to happen. They got to beat themselves. A 53-54 is put down by Schuler for Hutton. Here it comes to the finish line. It will show 53-44 by 1/10 of a second. So with his 53-44, he's going to be happy with that. Check this out. There is no better shot in the world of motorsports than the onboard camera that you get in a World Series jet sprinting. Teresa Parrish doing the driving. Casey Lack doing the navigating. Down the straightaway we go into the speed bowl. The 2 fastest parts of this track for Manfield World Series jet sprinting Group A. And the ladies are going to have to lay down a big one. 53-24 to get them into the field of 8. So they're already faster than the 2 boats previous to them here in the field of 8 for the top 8. So for Teresa Parrish, let's take a look at what's going to happen with split time, 27-34.
They're right on the case. They're right on the pace. The powder puffers enjoying the tight twisting turns of Magic Manfield. They go in the second half. Casey Lack taking time out from his schooling to participate in the series. Teresa Parrish right on song as now we start the run and gun for home. The ladies from Wangaratta on the east coast of Australia. Look at the clock coming up to the 53-00.
For Group A, Manfield Aqua Track here in Fielding, New Zealand, North Island. This is the old man of the sport. He has been around for many, many years. What he lacks in a little bit of horsepower, he makes up on sheer experience. It is Hamish Pride for Group A Racing. What a shot that is, kind of an aerial shot of the speed bull. Now, Hamish Pride has been around this. He probably has logged more miles on this track than anybody else.
He puts a lot of time into R&D, racing and development. The 97 New Zealand champions back together. Robbie Mayhead doing the navigating in this Stinger hull, and they've got the combination right. They work so hard on it, getting the package right.
Schuler continues to be on the bubble with a 53-54. Once this pass is done with Hamish Pride, we will have our field of 4. Then we'll start putting people on the trailer. Hold on, hold on. Bounce it around. That's what you don't want to do. You get into your own wake on these tracks, and it starts slowing you down by 100 sub-seconds, and it's going to be a 53-43, enough to put him into the show and not on the bubble.
It's time to stage for Kim Sanders, who'll be next away. The Anzac connection, Mike Frackington sitting alongside. So it's an Australian and a Kiwi about to attack the Aqua Track. And straight into it down the fastest stretch of water in world jet sprinting. Up to the maximum speed, straight into the speed bowl, and Kim Sanders looking to be in the 26s maybe at the sprint. Has the big bubble there, the wee bobble, that could cause him trouble. So Kim Sanders waving the Australian flag, waving it very vigorously as we approach the split. That is going to be the telltale sign.
For Kim Sanders, 27.11 on the split time. At this point, it's probably going to mean that Schuler is going to be on the trailer. Schuler's got himself a 53-54, as you can tell, with the scoreboard. So Kim Sanders has got to get at least a 53-53. Oh, man, See there, Kim Sanders just hit the steering wheel. He knew he made a bobble, which could be enough to put him out, and he may put himself on the trailer. 53-57 will not make it into the Final Four. On a tough break for Kim Sanders. A lot of people are saying, keep your eye on this kid, this guy, this man. Here is the future of Group A. Didn't have much of a luck, he didn't have much of a run, didn't have much of a 3-week spread in America. Less than spectacular, but because of that, he wants to make it up. This is Chris Monroe. 52-65, he ran in the field of 16 to get him here to the field of 8. Keep your eye on this. The future of the sport for Chris Monroe.
These are the southern men from the very bottom tip of New Zealand, farmers down there. Chris Monroe, Tony Carter, showing great form in Kawara Jet. They do a lot of development work with Macraft, who are based not very far from where they farm, so they work so closely in with the Mackenzie brothers to develop this race package. The clock ticking away, 47-48 as they run and gun home. They've got to get the critical one. They've got to get in that Final Four, and they've done it with a 52.05. Great run, and now let's go in the replay. Hit a big bobble on what we call the graveyard corner. Gets a little bit loose. Chris Monroe can't afford that when he goes into the final.
You're safely through, though.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Are you going to step it up? Is there much more left?
Well, there's plenty left, but in this game you can't risk it too early either. You know, on this course we could easily go out at any time. So we found that last year.
Full-time, farmer, part-time, jet sprinter racer for World Series jet sprinting. This is Simon Campbell from the lower half of the North Island in a little town called Opiki. A very quiet, very shy, very reserved, stayed to himself kind of guy, but lets his racing speak for himself. He's much down on power compared to other Group A boats, but with a new Stinger hull for him, definitely up on performance.
This is the new rising star of New Zealand jet sprinting. So smooth, so clean. He's the Rodney Power of tomorrow. The mega star. Works his way around the track. Down on power, but that smooth line.
So for Hutton on the bubble to the 53.45, that's what Simon Campbell's going to have to be running to put somebody onto the trailer. Is it going to be Hutton or not at a 53.44? Here comes the time. To the finish line we go for Simon Campbell. He does it at a 51.95. Great pass. The four going to the show for the Final Four. Simon Campbell, Chris Monroe, Teresa Parrish, and Hamish Pride. And those on the trailer, Daryl Hutton, Peter Schuler, and Kim Sanders. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Group A competition. Manfield Aqua Track fielding New Zealand North Island World Series jet sprinting. We now go down into the Final Four. And then there were four. After rounds of qualifying, rounds of elimination, you now come down to the four fastest boats of the day. Hamish Pride is one of the four. Launches off the starting line down the longest straightaway in World Series jet sprinting and immediately into the 360-degree speed bull. How cool is that? Hamish Pride gets into the field of 8 with his 53.43. He's got to lay down his fastest pass of the day right here. All the times up to this point mean absolutely nothing. It's a brand new game, brand new day, brand new attack on the track.
And this is a game they've played before. They know what's all about in the fast lane, the Wairau Warriors. They've got to push it to the absolute max if they want to make that final. A little bobble there. They go up the top side in the afternoon. Oh, it's a big loss. It's a big one. And he got high and wide. He could have rolled across the island. That has cost him. And a 54.57, it won't be good enough.
Well, the crowd appreciates a good piece of driving from Hamish Pride, able to pull it out, but you know what, Hamish ain't going to be happy about that. But a disappointing 54.57. Here we go, Teresa Parrish, Casey Lack. Watch this, into the 360 speed bull. Is that a great onboard shot or what? The all-lady team for World Series jet sprinting proving to the boys you don't have to be a boy to be a champion, to be a winner. Teresa Parrish and Casey Lack.
Well, after America, they got 7th, 7th, and 7th. Their father was drinking 7-Up. What's he drinking this time round as we hit on their best ever result? Teresa Parrish, Casey Lack, they are ready to rumble, and they are rumbling. And boats don't look better than this, Jack.
Oh, absolutely, Russell. The paint job is drop dead gorgeous under the blue sky and sun sunshine here on the Manfield Aqua Track. They're trying to get themselves under the Hamish Pride time of a 54-57. And the way the ladies are going right now, not a problem. Watch the clock in the upper left-hand corner. Here we go to the finish line for Teresa Parrish of 52.83. Oh, man, they're going to be happy with that one.
You really like to lead from the front, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I've been caught here before, and I think we'll just see what we've got to do.
Hamish Pride able to make it into the final four with his pass of a 54-57, but not in a good position being on the bubble. Here comes Chris Monroe. He can consistently push his Group A boat into the lower 52-second passes, and that's probably what's going to happen, barring any type of water dancing or getting up onto the islands. He's been around the track, around this course many, many times, and he's got this track figured out. For Chris Monroe, he's got to run himself a 54-56 or faster. Pick it up on the split time. Here we go.
Well, you look at the times there, Hamish Pride. We look at it. He is up by 4/10. So Monroe, he picks up the first one. So Hamish Pride is the man on the bubble. May disappear, but the Southern men, they've got to keep it smooth. They've got to keep it clean. They've got to keep it mean. He had a big bobble on the killer corner. He can't afford it this time round. He knows that Simon Campbell can push him hard. We head for home. This is a huge second half coming. The clock ticking down, 49-50, 51-03. Huge run.
It is now time to put the taters on the track. The Opiki Spud, the farmer from Opiki. This is going to be Simon Campbell, the ultra shy, ultra quiet, doesn't really say a whole lot, knows what he's got to do and does it on the track. As he is looking to put Teresa Parrish onto the trailer. She's got a 52.83 bubble time. He's got to run a 52.82 or faster. Been very consistent throughout qualifying and all the rounds of elimination. It shouldn't be a problem.
Well, this is the local hero right in front of the home crowd. Is he going to be hero or zero? He's got to push it. He's got to oust Teresa Parrish if he gets this run right.
Teresa Parrish on the bubble, as you can tell, the 52.83. Let's see what's going to take place. Ho, 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 ho! Getting a little too close to the shore. That may be enough for Teresa Parrish to dodge a bullet. To the finish line we go. It will show a 52.29, but still does it. Teresa Parrish onto the trailer. World Series Jets sprinting field of four is now down to the final two. We go into the finals. Hamish Pride and Teresa Parrish unable to make it into the show. I stand corrected. Thank you, Susan, our statistician from the tower. I had said that Teresa Parrish ran a 52.83. It was actually 88. I stand corrected. To the finals we go. New Zealand Open, Manfield Aqua Track, and fielding New Zealand, North Island. And first out is going to be Opiki Spud, the potato farmer from Opiki. The quiet man, Simon Campbell. You try to put a microphone in his face and he doesn't really want to talk. He's just very to himself and very quiet. Not ego by any means, just very, very shy, but gets out of the track and lays it down. One shot only. What he does now is what Chris Monroe has to beat. This is a catch-me-if-you-can situation.
26.98 the split. He has played catch-up and catch-me-if-you-can before. He is the man, produce the goods. Traditionally goes quicker with every run on the day, always there at the pointy end. Today is no exception. Down on horsepower, definitely not down on skill as we run for home. Needs a big second half because he's going to set the time. It is 51.96. That is a big challenge.
It is chase time for Chris Monroe. He saw what Simon Campbell done with a 51.95 pass. Chris Monroe's already been faster than that. He's already ran down to the 51.03, so he's got to run a 51.94 or faster to pick up on the win today for Group A here at fielding on the Manfield Aqua Track. Barring any problems, it shouldn't be a problem for Chris Monroe.
And Mr. Monroe goes on with the show as we head up towards the split. Campbell 26.98. We count down, looking at it, turning and burning 26.00. Nearly a full second up at the split. That is going to be a telling factor for the Southern man.
35 seconds into the pass. And then with the passes that Chris Monroe's been laying down, he's got about 16 more seconds to make it to the finish line. 51.94 or faster. And then Simon Campbell will pick up on a second place and be on the trailer. Chris Monroe looks like it's going to be a 49-second pass or not. Oh, look at that, 50-69, but it's enough to pick up on the win for Group A for Chris Monroe. Simon Campbell with his 51.95 will pick up on second place. So all in all, great day of racing. Monroe on top, off the pace a little bit from where he was earlier, but still good for the win at a 50.69.
Good way to start the New Zealand leg of this series.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't expecting to get a second. I was hoping for top 4, top 6 maybe, sort of area, but yeah, get second here. Really wrapped.
Thanks, mate. It's not a bad start to the New Zealand leg.
No, that's what we needed. We sort of, just took it on, worked into it all day, and got the result.
Do you think you were lucky with Peter Shearer striking columns, Jason not getting the boat right?
Definitely, those guys had bad luck, and Brian too. Like, they would have been right there, so I don't think it would have been near as easy if those guys hadn't had problems.
Thanks, mate.
At the conclusion of round number 4, the way the points are for World Series Jet Sprinting, from the bottom working up, American Ty Applegate, Australian Phil Gribben, and Americans Jim Maxwell's son Jason Maxwell, J.R. Ken, and Dean Lautenschlager. And rounding out the top 4, Brian Smith, Teresa Parrish, and 2 points separating Andrew Dalzell in second place and Chris Monroe on top of 107 points. On behalf of Russell Harris and all of those involved with the World Series Jet Sprinting, I'm Big Jack Armstrong. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you at the track.
We love Manfield so much, let's stay there. Let's jump forward though to 2008 and those magnificent men and women in their HQ Holdens and Super Sixes.
There's a whole heap of motor racing coming up at Mighty Manfield this summer, and we kick it off with the Summer Saloon Spectacular. Today we'll be showing you the Super Sixes and the HQ Holdens, brought to you by Firestone Tyres. It's a combined class and it's going from strength to strength. To explain the Super Sixes, here's Dave Dovey.
They're quite a standard car. There is a very controlled number of things that modifications you're allowed to make to them, but they run a standard gearbox, slightly modified differential, certain specific things to the engines to make them, lift the performance up. There's the Ford and the Holden, so there's lots and lots of adversary situations with that. The class is building at the moment. We've got about 19 here today, and that'll keep on building. I know there's like 5 or 6 other cars being built. They run them in the South Island, and later on the year, or early next year, where we're going down south and taking on the South Islanders. I started in HQs, and it is such a buzz. Very low-cost motorsport, hell of a lot of fun for very little cost. And this one here is, you get a little bit better, then you can advance from the HQ straight into the Super Sixes, which is what I've done. If you can drive a HQ, you can drive anything, and it really does make sure that you know how to race a car, and it's such good fun, and it's low cost. I mean, you can get into an HQ for $3,000, and you could probably campaign it for as little as $500 to $1,000 a race meeting, and bang for buck, it's absolutely awesome.
They're always a handful, whether it be dry, hot or wet or whatever, they're a handful. The whole club was based on cheap money. So there's no such thing as cheap money, but inexpensive racing, right. And all the parts are controlled. They just don't allow you to just go out and buy fast bits.
So this is race 2 for the Firestone Tyres HQs and Super Sixes. The Super Sixes on the front of the grid, the HQs, so it's a split grid start. Number 82 there, one of the top runners in the Super Sixes is Dave Dovey in 69. Alongside of him was Des Styles. Away they go. And look at that, the field just goes from strength to strength. It's very, very powerful and popular in the South Island. And there go the HQs. And the HQs have been around since Adam's dog was a pup, and so too is Peter Grant, our spokesman that we talked to earlier, one of the veterans of the HQs. You're on board here with Des Styles, car number 69. Currently sitting back in about 4th place, working his way through the infield S's here at Manfield, up into the hairpin. Super 6s catering for Holdens and Fords, just a small smattering of Fords. The Commodores are powered by V6 electronic fuel injected engines, and in the Fords it's the straight 6 electronic fuel injection. 82 out in the front, that is Dave Dovey. 99 sneaking up onto the back of him there is Lance Felton in the Fujitsu car. Best of the HQs, well, it might be one of the veterans, and I think that's Colin Cronin, car number 11. 28 going through there, one of the hot shots in the Super 6s. Another driver that's come from the HQs, if you like. This is the next natural progression from the HQs, and that is Boyd Norwood, someone going off in the gravel as they work their way through the infield hairpin here. Down the short chute, the Denny Holmes straight into Higgins. Beautiful conditions here at Manfield. You've got to take your hat off to the Manawatu 2 Car Club. They really have come to the party here at the Super Saloon Spectacular. They're going to be so busy this year at Manfield. Of course, they have regained the New Zealand Grand Prix. That'll be a little bit later on. And, of course, they've got championship rounds for the V8s, and the final round will also be here at mighty Manfield. Dave Dovey in the lead as they cross the stripe. Car number 82. Big mover down the inside is 99, and that is Lance Felton. There's a bit of push and shove. Oh, there's a bit more than a bit of push and shove there. And that is going to end in tears, I would think. And I think there's one of the Fords in trouble, number 44 by the look of it, Ross Farley. He's back on the circuit, though. He'll rejoin in about 2nd to last place. Meantime, no change at the top of the field. 99 starting to slowly but surely pin back the race leader, Dave Dovey. Number 4 and a bit of a move. That's Peter Ryan. Oh, and look at the driver's door on Farley's Falcon. That's not too good at all. And he's going to rejoin well behind the HQs. Just saw Morris Shapley go past in the track drive HQ. Meantime, this is the man leading it. It's now 28. Boyd Norwood has got into the front. In and out of the infield hairpin and down, heading towards Higgins now. 2nd place, number 99 by the look of it. Looks like Steve Benebrook might be starting to come up into contention as well in the 33 car. We'll check on that for you. That's him in the GJ Gardner's Homes car. Best of the HQs, looks like it might be the veteran Peter Grant in the 66. 17, he is the fastest in the Super 6s. That's Shane Wenslick from Thames. Another one that's made the move up from the HQs. He was a champion in the HQs, and he's on his way to being a champion in the Super 6s as well. Whenever there's talk of lap records, I can guarantee that Shane Wenslick's name will be alongside it. Boyd Norwood leads at 99 in 2nd place, and that is our Fujitsu-sponsored car of Lance Felton. Here comes Shane Wenslick, though, as they head down into Toyota. This is the first turn here at Manfield. In and out they go. Wenslick picks up a spot. 66. Peter Grant continues to lead the HQs. Murray Crooks is in there as well. So too Colin Cronin. Curtis Bolt, Adam Bressel. Boyd Norwood, though, showing them the way home. Wenslick now up into 2nd place, and it looks like Steve Benebrook from Pukekohe, one of the original HQ pilots. Oh, and someone else down on the grass there, and it's been so dry here in the Manawatu. That's why the big clouds of dust come up. This is the view from our onboard camera. This is Des Stiles, car number 69. These cars, similar to what they run with HQs, run a standardised suspension package from Petter's Suspension. They're only allowed to do limited modifications to the engines, but they still get around Manfield at about the 133 mark, so they're not slow. Four problems here for number 49, and I got a feeling that's Cheryl Henright, the 2nd of the track drive cars. Morris Shapley driving the other one. 49, Sharon Henright getting back onto the racetrack. As we go back to the front of the field, we've got a new race leader. Down the inside comes Shane Wenslick, the Wenslick home-sponsored Holden Commodore from Thames. Going with him is the GJ Gardner's Ford, and that's Steve Benebrook. Now, Benebrook's just made the conversion from the Commodore to the Ford, and he was telling me they are vastly different to drive. Looking for the first of the HQs, it's the veteran, Peter Grant, number 66. Then behind him, by the look of it, 41, Murray Crooks, and then number 11, Colin Cronin. Meantime, they've sorted themselves out as they work their way through the infield S's here at Mighty Manfield and up into the hairpin. Big lock up there from car number 28, Boyd Norwood, trying to retain contact with Steve Bennerbrook, sitting in second place. Out in the front, through the hairpin they go, and down the Denny Holm straight here at Manfield. That's Shane Wenslick leading it. Next round for these guys is just next week at Pukekohe, so they really can't afford to do too much damage. You can see for yourself, though, plenty of damage on the GJ Gardner-Holmes car of Steve Bennerbrook. 99 just shuffling back to about 5th place now. That's Lance Felton here to turn at the front of the field. 82 in there as well. Dave Dovey back in about 10th at the moment. 17, Wenslick leads it. GJ Gardner-Holmes sponsored Steve Bennerbrook is second. Somebody off onto the gravel as they came through Dunlop. Back on board here with Des Styles, heading into turn 1. For years and years, that was the Coca-Cola turn. Now it is the Toyota turn. And of course, the TRS Series cars will be here contesting the New Zealand Grand Prix. We ride here with Des Styles. Oh, and there's more problems here. Well, this is the second time poor old Cheryl Henright's had problems at the top end of the circuit, and the red flags come out, so the race has been stopped. And I'm sure that is to remove her car. It's probably been deemed to be in a dangerous position. So the race is stopped here, race number 2 for the Firestone HQs and Super 6s. Just going up through the order, race leader, remember, is car number 17. That's Shane Wenslick, GJ Gardner-Holmes. Steve Bennerbrook is in second place. Then it's Dave Dovey. Boyd Norwood there as well. There is Henright's car being removed. So we will get this one restarted. Safety car will head back into the pits. We are racing single file start. Remember, you're not allowed to break the single file as they head up over the start-finish line once again here at Manfield. Green flag flies. Can anyone do anything about Shane Wenslick? The Wenslick Automotive Castrol-sponsored car at the front of the field. Steve Bennerbrook runs up into second place. Then it is Boyd Norwood. Norwood on his home track here. He's a Palmerston North lad. That's him in third place. Behind him, car number 82, Dave Dovey. Oh, Wenslick makes an uncharacteristic mistake there, but it doesn't have any real effect on Bennerbrook. Best of the HQ, still Peter Grant. 31 is Haig Torrens. He's certainly one to look for out there in the HQ racing. Bennerbrook now starting to challenge Wenslick as they work their way through the infield hairpin and down the Denny Holm straight. Ford on Holden, that's the contest they wanted to see. That's why this class was started. It's the next progression up from the HQs, and it's proving very popular in both islands. 17, Wenslick in the front, Bennerbrook in second, then it's Dovey, then it's Boyd Norwood. Adam Newell was there as well, 666. And once again, we see as he comes through Dunlop and down the front straight that Shane Wenslick is just a little bit too good for these guys. Checkered flag flies and Wenslick puts yet another win in the book here at Manfield. Second place will be Steve Bennerbrook in the Ford. Then it was car number 82, Dave Dovey. And behind him, the local from Palmerston North, that was Boyd Norwood. In the HQs, it was Peter Grant, the veteran, from another veteran, Murray Crooks, with Colin Cronin and Curtis Bolt rounding out the top 4. Third and final race of the weekend for the Firestone Super 6s and HQs. Can anyone stop Shane Wenslick? That's what everyone will be wanting to know. This one is on the qualifying times by the look of it, so it's the quick boys off the front, and there's none quicker than Wenslick, and he's battling door handle to door handle with the GJ Gardner-Holmes Falcon of Steve Bennerbrook, and they're not going to give it up. They're still side by side as we're back on board here further down through the field. This is Des Dovey giving us the best seat in the house. Just going past him by the look of it, number 95 there, and that was Calvin Andrew. So the class pretty much dominated by the Holden Commodores, although the word is that there are Fords being built. And one Ford is absolutely monstering the race leader at the moment. That is Shane Wenslick, and that's Steve Bennerbrook from Pukekohe. Now, he's another one that's been around the motor racing scene for a long, long time. Has raced plenty of different classes. HQs, he had a bit of a go in the old Trans Am lights, as they were called. Done plenty of club stuff as well. Let's have a look if we can pick up who the first of the HQs is as we're back on board here with Des Dovey. to that V6 fuel injected engine Sing. As I said before, very limited modifications. Similar rule structure to the HQs, a suspension package for each of these cars makes them as equal as they can be. Maybe just letting another one slip by, and I think that was number 44. We saw him in the wars before, and that's Ross Farley. So that is our camera car, the bright orange number 69. So we go back to the front, 17. Wenslick Automotive, Castrol sponsored Shane Wenslick. There is 666. I said to watch for him. That's Adam Newell. Oh, and once again, someone out onto the gravel as they head through Dunlop and down the front straight. Looks like the best of the HQs might be number 11. Another one of the veterans, and that is Colin Cronin. And he'd know his way around Manfield like better than most. Peter Ryan making a bit of a move up the inside there. Number 15 on your screen. And that is Brendan Elder. Meantime, at the front, it's the Commodores calling the shots. In and out of the infield hairpin they go. There is the battle for the HQs. Just having a look there where Peter Grant is the last HQ winner. Sharon Henright at the back of that field. Let's hope she can keep on the track this time in the Track Time HQ. A sister car to the car that Morris Shapley normally drives. This is the battle at the front of the field in the HQs, and it looks like number 9, and that is Paul Wilkinson from Lower Hutt, the Zest construction car leading it. Number 8 there, Furlong, just having a bit of trouble at the back of the field, so it is 9 in the front. In danger of being swallowed up though as they come up into Higgins here. 65, Curtis Bolton, second place. Then it's Haig Torrens. And behind Haig, I think it might be Morris Shapley in the 45. We'll have to have a good look at that. Meantime, at the front, no doubt about the race leader in the Firestone Super Sixes. That is Shane Wenslick. It'll be interesting to see when these classes combine for the New Zealand Championship with the South Island top runners, if Wenslick can be dominant. He certainly was able to do that in the HQ racing. Bennebrook in second place, then it's Dave Dovey, then it's Shannon Coker, another one to look for, car number 50. Further back, Adam Newell, 99 in there as well. That's Lance Felton in the Fujitsu car. Peter Kine, as we said before, number 4, starting to make some moves at the mid-stage of this race. This is the battle at the front of the HQs. It's still Wilkinson in the lead. No, it's not. I've got it wrong. He's slipped back into second place. So Curtis Bolt moves up into the front now. Car number 65. The Oval sponsored car from Auckland. So remember, it is 2 classes within one race. It's the Super Sixes and it's the HQs. All of them brought to you by Firestone Tyres. You're watching the Super Sixes at the moment, and the Commodores have proved to be dominant. 17, Shane Wenslick drives the Commodore. He's in first place in this. He won the previous race. Back to the HQs, and it's number 65, Curtis Bolt in the front, the Oval sponsored car. Then it's 9, Wilkinson. Peter Grant, the leader of the first race, or the winner I should say of the first race, back in about 5th place now as we go back to the top end of the field. Wenslick heading out of Dunlop and down the long front straight here at Mighty Manfield. Big crowd in to watch this summer Super Saloon Spectacular. Kicking off the summer program here at Manfield. Wenslick in the front. Second place is Steve Bennebrook. In third place, it's Dave Dovey. Then it's car number 50. That's Shannon Coker. In there as well is 666, Adam Newell. This is a little bit further down through the field as we ride with our camera car once again. Car number 69, Des Styles. Oh, somebody up ahead's had the big lock-up, and I think that was number 4, Peter Ryan. So we're with Des Styles as he goes through Toyota, heads out into the infield S's, otherwise known as Splash here at Manfield. This left-right combination, great for the crowd. This is great for the crowd as well. This is the battle in the HQs. Remember, they're about 10-15 seconds down the track from the Super Sixes. Still Bolt in the front, Wilkinson in second place, Haig Torrens there in third. Then I think it's Morris Shapley through in fourth, the second of the track time cars. In there as well, the veteran, and that is Peter Grant. This man's a veteran. Well, he's a veteran now of both HQs and Super 6 racing. 17, Wenslick continues to lead it. Bennebrook second, Dovey third, Shannon Coker fourth, Adam Newell fifth. And then it is Boyd Norwood, car number 28. We saw him figuring in the previous race as well. But no one can catch Shane Wenslick. Oh, and somebody wild on the grass there, and I've got a feeling that might be Boyd Norwood. We'll have a look as they come a bit closer. Was it the 28? We'll have to wait and see. This is Morris Shapley leading this bunch. Behind him, Peter Grant. Morris Shapley, ex-motocrosser from many moons ago now. Also drives that very potent Holden Monaro in endurance races and sometimes in the Super GTs. Across the line they come. Wenslick in the front. Super 6 action brought to you by Firestone, as is the HQs. Of course, they run on controlled tyres, different tyres for each of the classes, but of course they're both Firestone. Or maybe these guys are getting into a bit of tyre trouble. Steve Bennerbrook throwing it sideways. 17 just as smooth as ever. Shane Wenslick in the infield hairpin here at Manfield. You can see the construction going on in the background. Manfield going through a bit of a facelift. This new 3-storey control tower about to be completed. Well, we're down to the last lap here at Manfield, and this is where it gets a little bit desperate. You're watching the battle for the HQs, and Haig Torrance drives into the side of Curtis Bolt, and the big winner out of that might just be Peter Grant. He shuffles up a couple of spots, but Torrance goes wrong. This is the second bunch of the HQs. Remember, up ahead, it is Shane Wenslick leading Steve Bennerbrook. They're heading towards the checkered flag as the HQs battle their way around the infield. There is Wenslick. He wins race number 2. So he makes it a great weekend for the man from Thames. Second place will be Steve Bennerbrook, and in third place it will be Dave Dovey. Fourth place will go to Auckland's Shannon Coker, and in fifth place it's Adam Newell. In the HQs, 2 of the veterans lead them home, Colin Cronin and Peter Grant from Haig Torrance and Curtis Bolt.
The surf's up at Mount Manganui for the 2006 Thundercats.
Mount Manganui is the venue, 2006 Southern Swell Thundercat Challenge. I'm Brendan Pongia, your host for today. I'm joined by somewhat of a veteran of the sport, Tony Vicatrin, silver medalist at the Gravity Games last year in Perth. Tony, a big day of events ahead of us.
Mate, it'll be a fantastic day. We've got good conditions, great weather, the crowd will be along here, and there's a bit of surf there that's going to trip the guys up.
Tell us what's going to be happening for the day.
Well, every boat will race 4 heats, there's 12 in total. The guys that get the most points go through to a quarterfinal, top 10 boats. Then there's a quarterfinal repechage, which is boats 11 to 20. 3 of those boats will join 7 from the other quarterfinal into a semi-final. From there, 2 boats get knocked out, sudden death in the final race.
Let's talk about the course and what the guys can expect.
Well, we've got a W-shaped course out behind me here. The boats will race through the surf line, out quickly round the back. Wherever the wind is, the boats will trap the wind underneath them. They go faster into the wind, back through the surf lines. That's when they'll have trouble racing against each other. That's where we'll see some action. The course will change every lap, so you're racing the course and you're racing each other.
And so to the action on the beach, and the pilots down into their Thundercats rip start these little 50 horsepower outboards, and away they go through the fabulous surf here at Mount Manganui. Fusion get the whole shot, they lead out with alongside them QuickBooks right there in the middle. That's the little blue and grey boat, and then back quite a ways Reaction Print, the yellow boat. Signtech right outside them as they go into the first buoy, and wow, drama there, Tony, on the first turn.
First corner, first race of the day, they're out of this race, they lose the points. The other boats that will be disappointed will be the boats that have got a good start. Fusion, they all start on the beach again.
So QuickBooks back up onto the beach as the red flag comes out, ready for a restart, and away once again. Look at that. The QuickBooks boat, this fabulous new Southern Pacific inflatable, over sideways. Back into the racing, Reaction Print lead round that first mark at the bottom end of the racetrack. Signtech positioning themselves now for a run up the outside. Fusion straight through the middle of the wave, and remember though, that propeller's not working while it's in the air. So out into the surf they go once again. Fusion now looking for that win, but Reaction Print holding them all out. Signtech looking for a way through on the inside, can't make it stick that time through. Reaction Print still with the inside running as they go round towards the W buoy. Out into the surf once again, and this time Signtech with the legs on Reaction Print as they blast through on the inside. Big Brett McConnell won't be liking this, but keep your eyes on Fusion as they go through there in third place at the moment. So Fusion it is, keeping Reaction Print honest as they plough down the back straight. Now round the bottom mark once again, and that water just keeps on getting shallower out towards the W buoy, and here comes Reaction Print flying through the air. No prop in the water, no speed on the water. So Signtech lead them out once again, out towards A-Boy. Fusion, the aliens, they've stalled their motor, and this is going to give the win to Signtech as they punch through the surf and glide that Thundercat straight up onto the beach to get their first place of the series.
Yeah, my name's Warwick from Hydrolink Racing. I'm the driver. Gordon Bandy, I'm from Hydrolink Racing. Been with them Hydrolink for 3 years and racing in the sport for about 7.
And so to race 2 with Hydrolink well and truly out in first place in their Thundercat at the moment. The NZ1 on the side, that depicts the fact that they're the current New Zealand champions. Out into this beautiful water here, and chaos right on that bottom mark on A-Boy. Boats going everywhere. As the water runs out, it gets very shallow. You've already seen the Moore FM boat up on the beach. So now to the helmet cam. On the head of Kerry Wood and Quicken this time as they come round that bottom buoy, head out into the surf once again here at the Mount. So huge air there for Kerry Wood as he comes down very heavily on the back. And here we have the Marine Works Jungle Coffee boat. Tony, a little bit of drama earlier on the day with Jungle Coffee.
Jungle Coffee turned up on the day, all ready to race. Probably a top 10 boat. Unfortunately, gearbox problems, and they're having to race other boats. Here we see Quicken nudge the buoy. That'll cost them points. I'm sure the driver, Kerry Wood, will talk about not actually hitting the buoy, but that's definitely points losses there.
And you'll see that on the replay as he heads into the Mossy Mo buoy. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's all over, Kerry. Pack the lunch, sit on the beach. Okay, out into the surf they go once again, and you can see the colour of this water. It's awesome here at the Mount on summer. Down the side chute and Hydrolink just about to finish the race.
How was that for first up?
Yeah, it was a good start for the day, eh? You know, it's what we needed. We had a bit of an average day at Wangmata, so just to bring it back, it was just, yeah, great start.
You are the national champs. Who are you keeping an eye on today?
Reaction Screen Print, they're quick, eh? And Mustangs, they're a quick boat. Signtech, it's 5 or 6 at any race, just, you know, they'll take it out.
And so to race 3 here at this fabulous beach at Mount Manganui, ideally suited to Thundercat racing. Plum Quick, rip start there, 50 horsepower Yamaha. They get the whole shot, but up alongside them, the new kids on the block, Dickies. What a fantastic start they've made. House of Travel, also rookies out there for their first season. The way Kiwis see the world, and they're right in behind Plum Quick. Off the top of the wave, if you're not careful when you come down, all sorts of things can happen.
House of Travel, Derek. House of Travel, one of them have come out, tripping over the wave.
And that's exactly what happens if you don't land flat. That particular boat, the House of Travel, broached.
The surf may not seem big, but even on those small waves, exactly as you see here, co-pilot gets tossed out. You've got a good view of his underwater view right now.
Fantastic as they get back into the boat, but they'll be up on the beach for the rest of this race. So Dickies now get the whole shot out of the start. More FM without Tony Vercautrin. He's joining me in the commentary position after breaking his leg in the first round. So out into the surf we go once again. Great shots there from More FM with the rookie crew. The guy that's driving it is normally the co-pilot up the front of the boat. Dickies, where did these guys come from? Just look at the way they blast this boat right across the top of the waves.
Plum Quick have landed on top of, who is it? Mel's Bench Tops.
It's Mel's Bench Tops, and look at that, they've a bit of a coming together, and bad luck there for Mel's Bench Tops and Plum Quick, but here go Dickies once again.
This will be interesting, Derek. Dickies being the new boys on the block, they've got to go through the hassle of having a restart. That'll play on their minds, and hopefully they can hold off some of the more experienced crews behind them here.
And what about this, Tony? Your co-pilot handling the More FM boat like a true professional, right up on the inside of Plum Quick.
Yep, great line there.
As away they go, round the bottom mark once again, and House of Travel push the More FM boat up onto the beach.
Ran out of sea there, and Dickies come in to win the race. Great finish for new guys.
Fantastic, across the line they go. And so to the Mossimo Southern Swell points leaderboard. Hydrolink Racing, Dickies and Signtech all tied on 100 points. Reaction Screen Print and Plum Quick back there in second place together on 82 points. And And so to race 4, with the boats already out on the racetrack. Currently in the lead, Signtech, as they push through the waves in hot pursuit. Fusion, then tucked in behind them, the QuickBooks boat, and on the inside of them it looks like Marine Works. Round goes Waikato Finance and Tony. These guys had drama earlier on in the day as well.
Just 2 races ago, Waikato Finance had their boat popped, so they've spent 2 races repairing it, and they're back in the pack here and back hunting for the lead.
So out into the surf they go, and I guess they'll be pretty worried about whether that sponson holds up or not. Down the side chute they come, and it's all Fusion. The illegal aliens all the way from Wanaka in the middle of the South Island take over on the inside of Signtech. So that puts Signtech back into second place. The fast and loose Kelly Gooch living up to his name once again as he pushes this boat to the maximum right out there through the surf. Signtech.
Fusion have good clean water here, so they've got the advantage. Signtech are a fast boat though, so Kelly has to drive really well here to maintain his position. He has to race the course, forget about what's behind him. We just saw him looking behind him there, but he's got the clean water and really shouldn't lose his position here.
Well, back through the middle of the course, you can't see it at the moment, but Waikato Finance look like they're struggling. It could be, Tony, that sponson is actually going down a little.
Look, they've done well to be in the race. To be in third with 2 good boats in front of them, they're doing really well.
So back with Fusion now as they blast around this fabulous circuit here at the Mount. Out across the waves, and Kelly Gooch, well, he's certainly living up to his name as he gets horrendous air crash bound on the stern of the boat there. Out towards the W buoy he goes now. Great shots from our helicopter as you can see the flat water. Well, it ain't too flat, trust me. Signtech makes a beeline for the inside, looking for that inside line.
Look at the different lines here, Derek. Fusion's gone very wide.
They've left the gate wide open, but have they left themselves enough room to close it? Yes, they have. Fusion now into the shallow water, makes the quick left-hand turn, lines himself up for the slingshot out towards that right-hand buoy, the pin mark, the Mossimo pin mark, and then they'll drive this thing straight up onto the beach. So Kelly Gooch now sees the finish line, heads it up onto the inside now. Signtech right out wide. Up till they come towards that bottom mark again, hands in the air. This is the last lap. Out into the surf they go. Gooch gets all out of shape. Round the top of the wave. Signtech goes out wide again, and drama once again for Gooch. Remember, that propeller's got to be in the water and driving to get any speed, and it's exactly what he's doing now. Playing catch-up in behind the Signtech boat. Riding the white water, round the bottom mark, into the back straightaway now, down the side chute and into that surf. He'll be setting himself up now for the left-hand turn and the run up towards the Mossimo pin mark. Round they come again. It's Signtech at the moment, flying across the top of the waves, keeping the boat nice and flat as they hook round the left-hander. Now out towards the right-hander it goes. Signtech pushes through the wave. In hot pursuit though, Fusion, the aliens from Wanaka, the South Island there, keeping them honest in second place. In towards the beach they come. Signtech looks over his shoulder, knows he's got Fusion right in behind. Still out there, well and truly in first place after the deep water start. So round they come this time. Up go the hand, indicating they've seen the white flag. 1 lap to go. Signtech it is. Through goes the Southern Pacific boat. QuickBooks, just about losing the young co-pilot Mitchell Thompson over the bow of that boat. That would have caused the race to come to a halt. Signtech now up onto the beach to take out the win. They're going to be followed by Big Brett McConnell in the reaction screen print boat into second. So PCI Electrical in the early lead, the only sharks to be seen on Mount Manganui Beach this summer, and it happens to be a Thundercat. PCI Electrical straight down the side chute on the last lap now.
Derek, this is the corner that's decided all the races today. You see PCI Electrical there in their second year of racing, doing really well, showing great boat speed. Unfortunately, lost it on that corner, giving Mustangs the way through.
Left the gate wide open they did, and Mustangs just cut across in front of the shark boat. So Mustangs will tidy this one up as they come round the Mossimo finish mark. Up onto the beach, they've got to drive this boat as hard as they can. Up to the beach to get this win. Across the waves they go, crash bang, up into the shallow water, up through the sand, with PCI Electrical in hot pursuit behind them. Mustangs get the win, PCI in second place. Then back in behind them will be Waikato Finance. Great news for them after the drama they've had.
Hi, I'm Kelly Gooch and I race for Fusion from Wanaka, South Island.
I'm Lawton, co-pilot for Fusion.
Race 9 and 5 abreast as they come down to that top mark. Fusion lead them through once again. More FM with the Aussies on board on the inside of them. Then back a little bit further to David Blackford. Heritage Tiles nail it round. Tony!
Nail it. They're nailed there on the 90-degree turn. Pure G-forces as they go around that corner.
Just look at this as the co-pilot gets spat out the side, just about taking the pilot with him. They go round the boat. That's what the red flag was all up about, but it's all Fusion once again under the restart. Down into the bottom mark they come. He's got a lot of work to do in front of him. House of Travel split turns on the corner. Heritage Tiles on the outside. Into the replay again, and Tony picks it up.
You see House of Travel there. As they go a bit wide, they spin around on the wave and turn around, and what's happening there, driver's also out. So we're having a few of those today.
Just about punching into the side of the Fusion boat and taking it out, but back to the restart we go. Up towards the beach, Heritage Tiles on the outside, left the gate open there a little bit. Fusion comes through on the inside now, looking for the way through, and Tony, this is all about timing.
Heritage Tiles caught their timing of the wave. They had to jump it in and out both times, whereas Fusion came through, missed the wave completely.
And so to the Mossimo Southern Swell leaderboard. That win puts Fusion up into third place. Mustangs take out second with 252, and Signtech still in the lead with 300. And so to race 10, and it's the same old story. Reaction Print out in first place again, but look at this. Racing's rubbing. The Stallion moves over and gives Signtech a little bit of curry, tells them to get out of the road as they race down to that bottom mark, but it's Signtech's mark. They go through in second place, but Reaction Print flying away with this one as they hit the back straight away, Tony.
Look at the three boats here, Derek. They're all picking different lines to have clean water. They need to. That'll push some boats wide and some inside. So Reaction Print really have the great line here.
Reaction extending that lead as they go round the bottom mark, gets huge air there, just about broaching as they came off the top of that wave. Up towards the Mossimo pin mark they come. These guys are flying. Brett McConnell knows all about it, hard on that Yamaha tiller handle as they race up to the beach. Up into the shallow water they come as they set themselves up to take another win in the Southern Swell. Signtech will come across the line behind them in second place. So race 11 and House of Travel take an early lead. They're being pushed all the way by the newly sponsored cow, now renamed Toyo Tyres, and the oldest fella to be racing in Thundercats in the world.
Look at that again, Derek. The wily old guy takes House of Travel on that tricky corner again. House of Travel showing good boat speed in this race, but there he is, Diesel coming in right where it counted, right on that tricky wave.
65 years old and no stopping the old fella as he takes on the young guys here at the Mount. And he's doing it oh so well in the Toyo Tyres sponsored cow. Out into the surf he goes once again, and this looks like that's the way it's going to finish. Toyo Tyres get the win. And so to the last race of the day, race 12, and look at the wind as it's picked this swell up here at Mount Manganui. Out go the boats, it is getting pretty rough out there, but then again the Mount's renowned for this sort of water as Fusion goes into the lead once again. Fusion car audio systems over the top of the waves, round that boy, the fast and loose Kelly Gooch showing the way once again. Gee, they'll be standing on the beach with the aliens up in the air for this one, I can tell you. Hydrolink racing the current NZ1. Down there across the tops of the waves.
These are the areas, Derek. These are the areas that will decide the race. The guys will be coming through the waves. They have to pick good lines to get through. This is where boats can move places very quickly.
It's becoming a washing machine out here as Hydrolink plows round that top corner, but it's all Fusion. No taking it away from these guys. Look at the lines they're taking. They're timing everything right up onto the beach, and Fusion will get the win once again. These are the top 10 performing boats of the day that will next week meet in a sudden death quarterfinal where the top 7 will move through to the semi-final. They'll be joined by only the top 3 from this group, the second fastest.
Qualified first, couldn't start the boat, he's now out of the race. You qualified, if let's say it was 6, you're still in the top 7, you're in, you're still there.
Yeah, well it's good, you know, I was second on the grid today, I was second overall for the day, which I'm really happy about, but finals, it's all about winning the finals.
Yeah, it's sudden death from here.
plumb quick, the driver, Steve Morrison or Steve Frogley, you never know which.
Even after racing against them 6 years under those helmets, you're right, you don't know which one is, but they're as hard as nails.
They've got to be, Tony. They raced 1,200 kilometres round the outside of South Africa.
Heritage tells this is a father and son combo. Dave, the driver, is a mad scientist of the sport. He's always tinkering, sometimes to his detriment. They competed last year at the Gravity Games in Perth.
The young son in the front of the boat, well, he's got to be a thrill seeker too. And so do the Repocharge.
Oh, look at Hydrolink. Big air there, way back in the field. That'll slow them down. Remember, only the top 3 will qualify from this race, so any slowing down like that is going to put the boats backwards, and they're going to be cutthroat and out of the race.
So into the flat water of the back straightaway, and it's the young guys again in the House of Travel, but look on the inside. Travis and Mitchell Thompson. It's Mitchell Thompson in the bow of the boat. Travis Thompson, the driver, was racing offshore in the brand new Formula Honda class last year, and he's come back to help his kid brother out in this race. House of Travel flying away with this one at the moment though. They're being kept honest by the Quicken QuickBooks New Zealand Propeller Magazine boat of the Thompson boys. Out through the surf they go once again, and remember that propeller's got to be in the water to give them drive. Up come the Thompson kids. Look at this, powering away right round the corner, wham into the side of the House of Travel. That'll cost them on points as they come into the shallow water once again. They're being pushed by Hydrolink back there in 3rd place. Then we go quite a long way back to the CSI boat, out into the big surf, and the positions have changed, Tony. It's the young guys in this brand new Southern Pacific hull.
Well, these two boats have got a bolter here, Derek. If they race sensibly, they've got the 2 top qualifying position. The real race here is for 3rd, which will go through to the semi-final with these guys. That's Hydrolink, Jungle Coffee and King Drilling currently racing off for 3rd in this race at the moment. Jungle Coffee, of course, in the Signtech boat.
Exactly, I was just about to say, Tony, what we see is the Signtech boat, but in actual fact, they've loaned their boat to the Jungle Coffee team, so it's Jungle Coffee every time you see Signtech. Hydrolink running around there, they're in the middle of the pack at the moment. Then we go into Jungle Coffee. If you're confused, well, I tell you, so do we get confused. In the middle of them, the More FM boat, minus Tony Vercautrin. He's up here in the commentary spot with us, the normal pilot of this boat. So the Southern Pacific boat at the moment, running away with it. Hydrolink back there in the middle of the field, then Jungle Coffee. Back we go to the More FM boat as they plough around that bottom mark, and I can tell you the water's fast running out under there. The Southern Pacific, this is the Quicken QuickBooks New Zealand Propeller Magazine boat up onto the beach. These guys will get their first win of the series, followed by House of Travel in 2nd place. Then out the back it looks a bit like the Jungle Coffee boat, Tony.
Oh, CSI have gone over. And coming in at the same time, taking the 3rd spot, is Jungle Coffee in the Signtech boat. But look at that, CSI go over on that buoy that's been causing problems all day long.
And the reason for that, Tony, I guess, is that it's getting very shallow as the tide runs out. There's the Jungle Coffee boat, and they'll come across the line in 3rd place. A good result for Glenn Banan. So back to the Mossimo leaderboard, and only Quicken QuickBooks, the House of Travel and Jungle Coffee will go through to the semi-final.
You've won the Repocharge quarter-final. You must be feeling good going into the semis.
Yeah, no, really good. You know, new boat debuts today. It was a great race.
Reaction screen print, the young cowcocky following in his father's footsteps all the way from Taupo.
He's joined by Stacey as a co-pilot. Stacey's also an experienced driver. They're a real team together. They've got the goods. They're setting the standard this season.
Mustangs, these guys are hot to trot. They're always on the program. So into race 3 now, and this is the semi-final, the one before the big one. It's down to the marbles this time as we head out with Mustangs right there in the lead. Alongside them, Reaction Screen Print. Then we go back to the fast and loose Kelly Gooch in the Fusion boat. On the inside of them would be the second of the Hydrolink racing team. A little bit further out we go to the House of Travel, and on the inside of them, Toyo Tyres. So down with the following sea this time and into the shallow water, and it is all Reaction Print as they cut straight across in front of the Mustangs boat, and Fusion follow in their lead. Round goes Toyo Tyres, and Tony, the wind's picking up, the surf's getting bigger.
Yeah, the guys have got to be careful here, Derek. The key to this race is not to finish in the bottom two. This is the semi-final. Only 2 boats drop out. So if you're in the middle of the pack, it's getting around the course safely. That's what matters.
So, Tony, do you reckon they'll be conserving any gear, or will they be going for it?
Well, looking at the front here, these guys are still going hammer and tongs. Reaction Print with Stacey Aitken in the front, Brent McConnell driving the boat. They're not going to give any measure to anyone else. So they still want to win this race. But, you know, some of the other guys, hopefully they're playing it clever, really not going too hard. Look at Reaction Print there. They're the sort of ways that can trip you up. No point getting tripped up in this race. Just don't finish in the last 2.
And big Brent McConnell, he was practicing in the cowshed a couple of years ago. Remember that one? Practicing his starts, he tripped, slid on a little bit of the old cow stuff and gashed his leg something terrible, which put him out of racing for the season. Hasn't done him any damage though, as he's still in the lead. Round comes Mustangs and Hydrolink Racing. Big Brent McConnell, this guy is built for this sort of sport. Up onto the beach he comes, look at that, just about
look at him. I
tossed
think
out
he
of his
slipped on
seat.
some of that cow stuff again and all over Stacey. He's a pretty heavy guy, so poor Stacey limps through the finish line there.
So Jungle Coffee and PCI Electrical have made it through to the final. Dickies and the Quicken QuickBooks New Zealand Propeller Magazine boat drop out.
You wish that was the final, because that was a hard race, I'd say.
Me, I want the final. Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Mate, you got to do it again. You got to do it all again.
It's good though, man. When the final comes, everyone gets into it.
Hey guys, seriously, there must have been some conservation out there. You know, the next race is in a few minutes' time. Stacey, you look as though you're limping. You nearly came out of the boat there at the end, Brent.
The only reason you didn't come out is because you landed on my knee and turned inside out there.
Right, you guys got one more race to go. Hey, well raced, guys. Yeah. Second year racing, you're one of the boulders, you know. The way it's gone today, you've actually got a chance, I'd say.
Yeah, we have a pretty good day today. We've made a few changes to the boat setup and got a new co-pilot who's a bit lighter, so that's been a bit of a help. But our mechanics done some awesome work on the boat, and yeah, everything's going well so far.
I keep coming up against Kiwis who are in small sports not everyone hears about, like Thundercats. Yes. Do people know that our Thundercats won an international tournament in Perth a little while back? You do now. Yeah. That they ought to get in the sin bin on with you.
And she was one of the co-pilots. In we go now to the Southern Swell Grand Final. This is what it's all about.
Look at the drivers, Derek. They're on a 45-degree line, racing to their boat to compensate for the top buoy, where they all turn on a 45-degree line. This is a huge part of the race. You look in the middle of the field there, they get the whole shot position. I think that's Fusion and, of course, Reaction Print and Mustangs. All got a good start to this race.
So Mustangs flying away, but Reaction straight away into the lead, and they're followed out by Fusion. Further out wide we go to Mustangs. Hydrolink you can't even see in our picture at the moment, and there goes the lime green Jungle Coffee boat. Glenn Banan should be the driver of this boat. On the inside of them we go to the House of Travel, I think it is. No, it's the Mustangs boat, the blue and black. Had me fooled there for a minute. Reaction Print, the first into the back straight away. Lead them down there, all the way down the side chute. It's Reaction Print, followed by the fast and loose Kelly Gooch from Wanaka. Then we go back to the Jungle Coffee boat as they sneak through on the inside. Tony, these guys, it's all about timing with them.
Certainly, as you can see, Fusion have gone backwards somewhat there. Jungle Coffee in this boat, they're pursuing now. Reaction Screen Print, like they've probably done most of the day, though. Look at them, they've got clean water. They don't have to fight through the wake of everybody else. Nice clean lines. Look at Stacey Aitken throwing his body forward there as the co-pilot.
Well, this is the guy that Helen Clark was talking about, the Prime Minister was talking about with the gold medal. Big Brent McConnell with the gold medal over in Perth, Australia at the Gravity Games. And this is the way he raced, but it was dead flat water most of the time, I believe. Stacey Aitken in the front of the boat. He's having a wow of a time just sitting back, looking over his shoulder. It's the Jungle Coffee boat right in behind them now. Don't get it confused with Signtech.
Remember, the key here, Derek, is Jungle Coffee actually can't get gold, silver or bronze medal. They've got a penalty because they're racing another boat, but they're doing their darndest to get Reaction Screen Print here.
Seems a little harsh for me. Remember, it was Reaction Screen Print that Helen Clark was in the front of not so long ago. Hydrolink Racing now straight through on the inside of Toyo Tyres as they get tremendous air fusion just about over on its side. Off goes Toyo Tyres, the cowboat again. But just look at the class of Big Brent McConnell and Reaction Print, Tony.
It looks like Jungle Coffee are doing their hardest here to get a result that'll be a personal result for them. But the real silver medal race is going on right now between the Cow, House of Travel and Hydrolink Racing.
So Toyo Tyres looking for a sudden and farther finish. We'll have to wait and see what eventuates as once again Reaction Print blast up the back straight away. All we can see is the Jungle Coffee boat in behind them. These guys are keeping them honest. As Tony said, they're carrying a disability. They can't race. Well, they are racing, but they can't race for a medal. Back we go to Reaction Print as he comes into the beach. The tide's still running out. It's getting very tricky round this bottom buoy. No problems for big Brett McConnell and Stacey Aitken though as they race out towards the Mossimo W buoy once again.
Jungle Coffee looks like they've got a jump on the inside there. Brent McConnell left the gate open. Jungle Coffee have come through. They've now got the line back into the beach before they go back out through the surf again.
And the line changes once again as McConnell tries to sneak through on the inside and Reaction Print couldn't make that one stick. Out into the surf he goes, and once again, Tony, I'm trying to figure out why he takes that wide line.
I think what he was trying to do there was pick a different line to the Jungle Coffee boys. You know, they've got surf coming in. Sometimes driving through the surf in different lines is the thing that makes the difference.
And I'm not too sure what the stuff is on the back of the co-pilot in the Toyo Tyres boat, but we'll have to wait and
Maybe
see
some
at
of
the
that
finish.
cow stuff again there, Derek.
May well be some of that cow stuff. Round they come, battling. You've got to remember, the Signtech boat is in fact Jungle Coffee.
Look at Reaction Print. They've picked a different line, similar to what you asked before, but look at it now. It's worked for them. They've got a different line, and now they've got the good position going around this buoy. They've really got this race sewn up here. Jungle Coffee are going to have to work doubly as hard to try and take them on a second time.
Smoking out towards the Mossimo buoy. They go once again, pushing this Yamaha to its limits as they come round the Mossimo buoy. This is the pin line and in towards the A buoy once again. Remember the ABC, this is the last lap. Up goes the hand in the air. It's not waving to the crowd. It's indicating the white flags come out.
These
and
boys
one
won't
lap
be
to
passed
go.
again, Derek. They've been passed once by Jungle Coffee. I can't see it happening again. There's the cow, his father, racing hard for that third position, which realistically in this race is for the silver medal.
And there's no truth to the rumour, he runs the boat on diesel. The little Yamaha's petrol powered. Up onto the beach they come, and this is big Brett McConnell. Stacey Aitken with the run, just about face planting once again, but he'll take out the Southern Swell Challenge. Back we go then to Jungle Coffee, but Tony?
They don't take silver. Silver's coming in now. It's Diesel, McConnell driving the cow boat.
This is the Toyo Tyres boat. Then we go to the House of Travel in third place. Now to the Mossimo leaderboard for the final of the Southern Swell. Reaction Print take out first place. The Cow, now known as Toyo Tyres, in second. And the House of Travel will take out third place.
Got gold and silver medalists here with me. Father and son act. You couldn't get better than that. I mean, this has to go down in a family album for years to come. Brent, your gold, mate. Talk us through. Hey, just the fact that you're racing against your dad.
Yeah, no, it's blimmin' good to be able to race with Dad. Like, I mean, not many people can race with him. It's the hardest thing is when he beats you, you know. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Not many people can race with him, can they?
The guys know, yeah. So, no, it's good, and I mean, he's blimmin' gone well today.
Crafty old guys that you are, hunting people down, first and second. Diesel, how do you feel?
Yeah, no, it's consistency. I lost my teeth out in a big wave there, but
it sounds like you do.
It's consistency, and you've got to keep consistent.
Diesel, you got a new sponsor today.
Yeah.
On your efforts.
Yep.
What about some sort of dental sponsor?
I reckon Toyo Tyres.
So a great finals day. Tony, you're not surprised by the winner. We talked about it at the start of last week. They came through and they won it and took the title.
Mate, Reaction Screen Print had to go into this as the favourite. They proved their mettle through today. They didn't necessarily race top notch all day long, but in the end they came through. And once they're in front, no boat goes past them. They're hard to beat.
Any other surprises for you over the finals day?
Oh, mate, bronze medalist goes to new guys. House of Travel just goes to show. Can mix it up. Got to the final. Southern Death. It's always going to mix it up.
Anything disappoint you for the day?
Not at all. Crowds are good. Weather's beautiful. Tricky surf. Great day.
That's it for this week. Remember, don't forget to catch back episodes of Retro Motorsport on our YouTube channel, Sky Channel 83. See you next week for more Retro Motorsport.
You'd have to say as we're back on board with the circuit here at Myra. Here's the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers.
and through the smoke we come.